absolutely no way I want to do that.
You can find
So
it
let's go ahead
too.
and...
Keep an eye out for new
Oh, it
ones.
says sealed right there.
Well, it's been fun.
Yes!
Stick around.
Yes! Alright, perfect.
Goodbye, and good luck, Planeswalker.
Is this little spark? This is supposed to be Sparky, the little glowing butter. Alright, let's just squish that bug. Let's check it out. Let's check out sealed. Do I want to purchase this item? I do wish to purchase this item. Okay, let's check it out. So what is this? The rares from my packs? So we've got this guy. This guy's nuts. And what does this thing do? Okay, so let's... I want to see this interface. This is the first time we looked at a sealed interface. So this is this... Okay, so this is actually the sealed cards that we opened up. I need a better way to sort this. So this is by color, I guess. So we gotta go through and take a look at what we picked up. Wow, okay. Awkward. So we did pick up 2 SWAT. Okay. I'm not sure the way to sort this. I know how I would sort this in real life, but I'm a little bit less clear on how I'd sort this in person. So I guess I want to sort by multicolored first. Is there a way to do that? What does this card do? That's multicolors, I guess. Cool. All right. And if we switch over to this one, that's not much more helpful. So I can at least see the multicolored cards I picked up here, including the lands. So what I want to do is I want to play Boros. Click all playables in the deck. But I have a hard time judging my... This is another reason why I'd like to draft first. I wonder if I can draft first anyways. I mean, we could try drafting first and just doing that for the fun of it. It doesn't say I can't do these other ones. It just says they recommend it, I think. And just double check the language on that. Reminder that play constructed sealed guilds of Ravnica should be the only used events. Otherwise, you might not match against other players. That's unclear. The language on that. If that's telling me I can't or not, or if I just shouldn't. Click on the button with what? Click on the button with sliders. The button with sliders. Yeah, we already did that. This didn't do a lot for us. Alright, well, let's, can we build multiple decks from this? Does it let me do that? I could try building, like, a blue-red and then look at the rest of them. Next to the add lands. What about it? All right, 2 seconds. I want to look at my rares and mythics. The way I would do this in a different way, if I had this in person, is I would look at these. Oh, I see. You want me to, I see what you guys are recommending. Like, check a look at the rares and mythics, maybe. Sure. We'll look at rares and mythics. What rares and mythics did we get? We got Steam Vents as a blue-red duel. We got Find and Finality, which is pretty solid too. We got Nizmivit, who's pretty damn good. And Memnonic Betrayal. That's not so great for this, I don't think. So this is strong, I guess. Like this card is strong. Don't get me wrong. There's no I guess about this. The strongest card. This card is strong. Let's take a look. I guess we can keep going like that. What do we pick up for uncommons? We picked up 2 Swathcutter Giants, which are quite good. 5/5 Vigilance for 6 that has an extra effect is pretty damn good. We picked up a True Fire Captain, which is a really big pain in the ass Boros card. Boros Challenger, decent as well. 2/3 for 2 with a pump effect, although it's expensive. Picked up an Invert and Invent. What does this do? Switch power and toughness of 2 target creatures on a turn. Not so sweet. Disinformation Campaign. It's fun. It's actually going to get a lot of value in draft. I missed 2 rares. My filter's on multicolor. Alright, let's go back to rares first then. Got a Beast Whisperer, also very strong. You can definitely build a deck around that. And Gruesome Menagerie. Card's not going to be very useful for us either. So Find Infinality is fine, and Beast Whisper is fine. This can be cast as a pure green spell too, the Find portion of that. So I guess we need to start taking notes. Actually, I'm super excited about this. All right, I would grab a piece of paper, which is normally like 2 inches from my desk, but because I'm in my wife's room, I need to go grab paper. I'll be back in just a second. Poor woman, how does she get anything done without having all the amenities of Filthy's room? Okay, so if we look at our rares, we have a very powerful green. And we have a very powerful blue-red. And the Find is a mediocre green. Okay, let's go take a look now at the uncommons. And take a look at this. Card's okay. It's not that great. That's really good. That's black removal. Can I make multiple decks as I do this? I would really like to make multiple decks as I do this. Let's start pulling in some of the stuff we look at. Card's not great. It's pretty cool. Crackling Drake. It's one of the instant and other ones. So, okay, let's find this out. I mean, this is the first time we've had access to this interface. Let's find out. Can I make multiple decks out of this? If I go to decks, is this showing up in my decks? No. So I can't make multiple decks out of the draft and decide? So let's just say I put some of these in. Said needed 40 cards? Sure, let's put in 40 cards. Alright. Let's call that my deck. Now I can hit play. Can I change it in between? Probably. But can I edit the deck as a actual editable deck? No. Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do what I want there, unfortunately. Can't like add a new deck. Bummer. Okay. Yes, well hello there, that'd be great. These are sealed ones. We're gonna do sealed first. Alright, how do I pull these out? Okay, so we need to go back to basically sorting. So one of the challenges it looks like it's going to be with this interface is actually sorting out the cards we've managed to pick up. So let's go back to doing that. We were looking at uncommons. It's fine. I think that wasn't a bad way to sort it. So we have, I guess I'm going to sort these by playable uncommons, huh? So we have one good green, one rare, one blue-red. That's a good rare. We have black removal. We can splash black for removal. That's definitely possible. Still in channel Aqua? Would one of my mods remove take that command, the disaster command, just remove it from the main channel, but then post it in Discord so Nightbot picks it up, but MTGBot doesn't, so we don't double spam that? Yeah, Draken's is a deck for sure. The black-blue was in there. What does these do? He's a 2/2 who does other things. That's okay, but it's not powerful enough to want to play the color by itself. Untap all creatures to gain hexproof and indestructible. I forgot about this card. This card's ridiculous. Pop card to your library into your graveyard. Not very exciting. Silent Dart, not very exciting. Yeah, disinformation does seem pretty good if we have enough surveil cards. Can I search by keyword here in my cards? Can I see how many surveil I got? No. Alright. It's fine. Let's start taking a look at some of those. So what are our white cards here? We have picked up, I just want to do buy white right now for the moment. Didn't actually pick up very many white commons at all. Pick a couple Blade Instructors as mentors. Skyland Scout, Righteous Blow. So we do have light removal here. Healer's Hawk. Color the Culprit's okay. Surveil in top left corner. What? Search bar on top left. Of this? Oh, and here. Oh, so I can search this collection? So, okay. Is that just the collection of the sealed cards? It is. Okay, interesting. Nice. Thanks, chat. Okay. Let's still do it by color. So we do have... Card's good too. We have 2 very solid blue-black cards. Not a lot of Surveil right now. One, this is not really that playable. Price of Fame is playable. And Deadly Visit is playable. 2 black removal pieces, both with Surveil. Some good blue-black splash. Picked up a Watcher in the Mist, which is a very decent killing creature. Okay. No, I don't want the intro games. Well, hello there. Thank you, though. Alright. Not a lot of Surveil going on. Let's take a look at the mentor stuff, just so we get some sense of how much mentoring we have. Fair amount of red mentoring, and some of the powerful ones. The high power mentor guys are very strong. Okay. Let's take a look at, what's the other one? Undergrowth? Is that right? I don't really actually think that's that strong of an ability. And what's the other one? Conscript? Is that right? No, not Conscript. Consign? What the hell was it called? The effect that let you cast them cheaper. Convoke. That's it. Thanks. Not a lot there. Alright, okay, let's keep browsing by color then. We've seen the white ones. White actually came out with a decent number of little creatures, and we have some white-red duels, and we have, or white-red dual creatures. We have a Locket, which I think are pretty decent. Let's take a look at the pure blue creatures right now. Card's alright. Not super exciting. Capture Sphere is decent. It's removal. Let's throw that in. That's possibly splashable. We might be able to splash some colors here. Let's just take a look at the powerful cards that we have for this. Have an Is It Locket too. Don't have a lot of instants and sorceries in blue. Piston Cyclops was okay. Big Defender. I like walls that have big power, by the way. Crackling Drake wasn't that interesting. I mean, it's kind of good. I mean, it's great. Draw a card and then, like, instants and sorceries. But I don't actually think we have that many instants and sorceries. Let's take a quick look. Can I search like that? Yeah. Red removal. Black removal. These are not all instants. A couple white removal pieces. So pretty white on the blue-red. And how about sorceries? Got a couple of direct currents in red. And then the black removal pieces again. So I'm not seeing blue-red being particularly strong for us in terms of spells and synergies there. The white, so when I see this, I see white creatures being fine so far. I see red creatures being good so far. I see black removal. Let's get to the green as well, because that green creature is super good. We're probably moving towards tricolor. It's just a little bit hard to get a sense of this deck right now from this interface. So let's take a look at the blue. Blue is real weak. Both our creatures and spells in blue are very bad. So blue is pretty uninteresting. Capture Sphere and the creature, the 3/4 flyer, are probably the most interesting parts of blue for us right now. And then the multicolor stuff. So that's not very exciting. Black, we have a little bit of removal again. So we have 3 removal pieces for black. Four removal pieces for black, although Severed Strands doesn't look particularly easy to use. Flyer. And then actual removal. Man, black looks pretty strong for us. All right, let's take a look at red. The Crater Maker's decent. Direct Current's decent. Got a mentoring creature. We have some removal and command the storm. Book Devourer. That's an interesting one. The rest of the red is the red-white stuff. Have some really solid red-white splash creatures. Okay, let's take a look at green. So right now, black, red, and red look the strongest to me, but the black-reds look really good. Green looks terrible. We did pick up Beast Whisperer, which is very good. And I think the Vigor Spore Worm is not that good. Alright, so we're actually looking at black, red, so, and white. The white multicolors, Joined Shields is really good, but the rest doesn't seem that good. Thank you, Crossgun. I appreciate that sentiment. That's, yes, it's been a really shitty couple of days for me, chat, since Sunday. Okay, so if I look at this, I see red, white, and black as the colors we want to be in. Black for removal, and then red and white for creatures. I don't know if I can make that a tricolor deck, but let's start building things like that. Let's start with the just purest of decks we can think about, which seems to me to be red-white with this the deck we're running right now. Let's just look at 40 cards like that. I'll throw in the black cards, perhaps as a removal right now. Particularly the really strong ones. Destroy target creature, Price of Fame, Severed Strands, Dead Weight as removal. Bats were playable if not exciting. Same. Same. Hey, Kid Maverick, welcome to the channel. This is a sub. And I think this card is definitely playable. I don't know about double black right now. I'll put it in as something interesting. The Centipede seems fine too. Okay, so these are just fine creatures basically. If we went black. 10 black cards that aren't terrible. I didn't look at the black multicolors. Hold on. Do we have black-red multicolors at all? Or black... no, we just have black-blue multicolors, right? There's a black-green on the horizon, but we're not really playing that. Fine, we'll probably be playing regardless. If we... Oh, if we play green or black, we'll play this. If we're not playing it at all. Alright, so then let's take a look at the red-white from this. Red-white duels, sure. Not really playing on white-green. I mean, we do have some dual lands. They're blue-red, and they are... white-green, which is unfortunate because I kind of wouldn't mind. There are some white-green splashes that aren't terrible. Maybe we end up white-green-red. Let's throw that in. Let's just look at this as a deck that if we could build everything, we would. The Swathcutter Giants seem very good to me. The True Fire Captain's very good. Hammer Dropper seems okay to me. Boros Locket's decent. Fresh-Faced Recruit is good. The Boros Challenger is good. Those are all really solid cards in white-red. When I keep going through this, the Bodyguard looks solid to me. 3/2 for 3 is whatever. I'm not excited about it, but I'll play it. 5 for 5 damage to target creatures, fine. Direct Currents look good. I've got 3 of them. I don't remember. I thought I had 2 of these, but 3. Okay. We can splash blue for something. I mean, it's tough to splash for a triple, but this card is nuts. We do have a Guildgate, and we have 2 Guildgates and a Steam Vents. Jesus. Maybe it's blue-red splash, or red-white splash blue. He can be played in red or white. We've got a Locket over there. Crackling Dragon. We have a shit ton of them. Crackling. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. You know, we're at like 38 cards. I think before lands. Yeah. Book Devourer is playable. I'm not excited by him. The Crater Maker's good. Switch the power and toughness of each of up to 2 target creatures till end of turn. Card looks pretty bad to me. And then how do we have with white? I'm not excited about that. I am okay with the 2/3 flyer for 4. Okay with Inspiring Unicorn. Okay with Collar the Culprit. I want to try out the Mentor mechanic. The Scout is alright. Righteous Blow seems totally playable. Healer's Hawk seems okay. What about that 0/8 Cyclops? Do I have that somewhere that I'm not aware of? I don't think I have that. Okay, I don't think the white-green is strong enough to splash that when I have other colors. Oops, that's not the card I want to kick out. Where did Finality go? Find Finality. So I like the Peacemaker, although we're looking to be fairly aggressive right now. I think Joint Sealed is broken, but I don't think it's good enough for that. So it really comes down to black for removal versus everything else. I mean, we don't... It's going to be tough to splash white-red, even though a lot of our powerful cards are white-red. And if we're splashing blue, we're splashing pretty weak blue. All of our removal's in black, right? So really, I just want to be a solid quad color here. I want to be black, red, blue, white, without green. I've never built a steel deck before, chat. I'm kind of interested to see how we do this construction. So let's start playing around with that. Have a lot of blue-red duels. Crackling Drake is only gonna... I mean, we could, if we run a bunch of jump starts, and I think there's no reason not to. The card looks fine to me. I mean, we will generate some, but they don't even stay in the body. When you jumpstart, it exiles it, right? Yeah. So it's not even going to stay in there. So I don't actually think the Drake's going to end up being very strong. Because we're not going to have enough instants or sorceries to stay in the graveyard. Maybe if we play Righteous Blow, we get a little bit, but that's still only like 2. It's often going to be like a 1-4 or 0-4, which isn't bad for a card that replaces itself if we don't care about blue. But if we're splashing blue, that starts to get pretty expensive. How about the rest of this? This guy is not splashable. He's a monster card. 5/5 flyer for 6, but I don't know that that's good enough to play alone. And then when I look at it that way, the Cyclops I can play as red. I don't have to be blue here. And I'm not super excited about the card anyways. So I look at, we have the ability to splash blue-red, but it's very difficult to do that with the cards we have. Overlay doesn't work at all, guys, because A, I'm not sure if it's been updated for Ravnica, and B, I'm on my wife's computer, so I'm not running it. So yeah, that's what I'm getting towards, Zub, is I'm considering going Boros with the black splash. It's exactly what I'm considering doing right at the moment. But I'm just working through it out loud for you guys and for me as we think about it. All right. So if we went that route, and it looks like we might, let's just throw in the rest of the white and red cards, because I'm just trying to lower this down. What does this thing do? Makes them unblockable. This thing is a 2/1. Just throw it in for curve for the moment. Okay. All right. My Izzet cards are insane. I know they're very good, man. But the rest of the deck doesn't support them for shit. Okay. So if we're trying to do Boros, what are the black splashes that we're looking at right now? Find is black. Deadly Visit is black. The Bats are black. The Painters are black. Price of Fame is black. Double Centipede. Veiled Shade. Severed Strands. Deadweight. I don't want to run double black if we're splashing it, so I'm dropping these Painters. 4 for a 3/1 flyer in this deck is pretty unexciting. We have lots of mentor effects and lots of ground creatures. I don't want to be using a pump spell that requires black mana either. So what am I actually looking at? Just basically the removal. Maybe these Spinal Centipedes. Alright. I mean, we are lacking white and red removal entirely. We've got 2 combat trick style things, which I'm not very excited about, Righteous Blows. And other than that, we've got Command the Storm, and that's basically it. Find is double black, it's fair. I mean, I might try to run Deadly Visit for double black, if I can get that type of mana going. I'm not sure I can, mind you. Alright, so let's take a look at creatures then. It's hard to do this. Like, I need more desktop space to move this stuff around in for this mode. It's going to be difficult crafting decks in this setup. So let's do the high value creature. So we're not sure we're playing black yet, but these are the black splashes we're doing. Let's look at the cards that I would really like in. I think this card is totally fine, especially with mentoring. This card I'm not so sure about. It looks kind of bad to me. Same with Silent Dart. Scout's playable. Crater Maker seems good. Ornery Goblin's okay. Challenger's good. Fresh Plate Recruit is good. So I'm okay with these. 2/1 that's sometimes evasive is not super exciting. This card's much better than that. Card's okay. Blade Instructors seem strong for this type of deck. This guy is a pretty mediocre creature. Bodyguard seems good. These guys not being able to attack unless I've cast instants or sorceries is kind of rough for a deck like this, I feel like. And Direct Currents seem good. Expensive, I guess. Oh, it's discard for Jumpstart. I forgot about that. I don't know if I want 3 of those, but we'll think about it. The Mentor as a 2/3 Vigilant creature seems good. Inspiring Unicorn seems okay. Hammer Dropper seems quite solid. So, but we don't have a lot of ways to trade up. We've somehow managed to get no Sure Strikes out of this, which seems insane to me. First Strike would be very solid on this type of game, I think. Alright. It's just all of our valuable creatures are white-red. Like, the white creatures are blah, and the red creatures are blah. It's just all the white-reds are really good. We have a lot of them. Alright. Not too excited about that creature. This guy's okay, I guess. Swathcutter Giant is like a monster for us. We're at 40 cards now, really? Oh, but without lands. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, seriously? Like, I thought I had a lot of cutting to do still. Alright, let's get rid of the Fist Cyclops. The Halberdier, maybe. Just might need another 3-drop. Seems like a pretty bad one. Is there... Like, maybe I could put in a little bit more black mana and try to splash those Centipedes. They're quite a bit better than the Halberdier. Not super excited about Severed Strands here. We don't have a token generating effect. Just a second, guys. Right back. We're back. Okay. So, with that in mind, Inspiring Unicorn might be a little rough on double white mana. True Fire Captain is going to be a pain to cast, but he's very strong. He's a decent finisher, too. I want the black removal. I don't know about Cosmotronic Wave. I think that might be a little optimistic at the moment. Hence how fast we're trying to go. Silent Dart is very slow for us as well. Scout seems okay. 31. We need 8 more out. Unicorn's a bomb. It's not that I disagree. Card seems great. It's just that I'm looking at my mana base. My mana base is 1 fixing land and a Boros Locket. It's not a very solid mana base here. And I am running potentially Deadly Visit. I mean, I could try to drop Deadly Visit. And at the moment, we're splashing for 2 black removal spells. And if we want to go that route, I almost want to do like just the blue removal. Capture Sphere is probably roughly equal to Price of Flame. I mean, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's flash, so I guess it is an instant, but it's proving harder to get this removal than I was hoping. Did we get anything else? Some solid blue-black cards. We're not very close to blue. The rest of our blue is kind of shit. Yeah. It's really unfortunate our dual lands didn't line up for the colors that we actually would like to splash. Very unfortunate. But I mean, I guess the goal is to get a number of these in. Alright, 4/5 Trampler. For 6 seems a lot worse than our 5/5 Vigilant guys. It's not that I don't think that card's okay, but I'm aware I need to make cuts here. True Fire Captain's very good. Just I probably won't be able to play this. This is probably a 5 or a 6 drop for me, realistically. This is probably a 6 drop. This is probably a 5 drop. This is probably a 3 drop. We need another 7/6 out. I think triple direct current might be pushing it. I think the card's totally solid. But we're already running Righteous Blows. I think Gird for Battle is going to be solid with the amount of mentoring we have. We have 4 mentor creatures, 5 mentor creatures. It would be very nice to buff them so they can buff other people. We almost have too many mentoring creatures. How good is a 3/1 in this format? Probably not great. What is creature count at? Creature count's at 17. What does mentor do? It allows you to make a creature with a smaller power, give it +1/+1 counter permanently if you're both attacking, basically. Maybe I don't need these centipedes at 3. It just feels really nice. Spinal Centipede trades, gives one of my mentor creatures +1/+1 permanently. Seems like that would be very strong. Are there other black creatures we have that are good? No. Not cheap. It's mentor stack. Yes, although I don't know how it works when they're both all cast at the same time. Maybe drop Color the Culprit. We're putting in real removal. This is going to be situational removal. It seems fine, but not amazing. This is our few evasive creatures. Guy's really big. Okay. Right, jungle people? Okay, so we need some of these creatures down. We need lots of 2-drops if we're going to run mentors on 3. And I don't want to get rid of Command the Storm, Price of Fame. Deadly Visit is on the cutting block potentially. Card seems really good, but double black is going to be very hard for this deck. The Centipedes are a little bit on the cutting block. I'd like to run them. Deadweight's probably not good enough to run in this. It's only -2/-2. It is an enchantment, which is interesting. It means it doesn't have to kill it to still be effective. But I have 2 Righteous Blows and 2 Direct Currents. I might just try to play around that. Not have to get that black mana early. So I'm not worried about black mana early. I'm not sure about these Centipedes. They just seem very synergetic with this deck with the amount of mentoring. The ability to buff a mentor so you can buff other people again seems really good. I like the jumpstart mechanic. I think it's very solid. I even like this card right now. This is a colorless mana source. If 4 colorless, I can generate red-white if I'm screwed. Is there a black locket in here? No. Alright, what are we down to? 27. One of them's a land. So we're at 26. We need 3 more out. It's probably a 3-drop here. So we have 6 2-drops, 5 2-drops, a 1-drop, and like 7. Maybe this direct current? I like the jumpstart mechanic, but I'm worried about double red in this deck. So let's say I grab those. Two more. Double red's not going to be impossible to cast, though. Like, that's just going to be a little bit painful to begin with. It's just like, this is super good. It feels like it's super good. I mean, like, having 2 damage. This is a shock that can be used twice. It's not an instant speed shock, and it costs 3. So it's not a shock that can be used twice, but it's that mindset. Like, it's a little bit of reach. It's a little bit tempting. Everybody to play it twice in the same turn. I'm not worried about playing it twice in the same turn. It's still 2 damage to face in a deck that needs reach. So we don't have shit for combat tricks. I'm a little unexcited about Righteous Blow. We have real removal. That's what we're splashing black for. Although only 2 pieces of it right now, and the Centipedes. And the Command the Storm. This is all fairly expensive real removal. Righteous Blows are still probably okay. But if I did cut those, we would be basically right on target. That's 20. We're actually 1 under. Maybe I cut 1 Righteous Blow. See how it feels. So that is 23, which is what we want. Got to figure out black mana, especially double black mana for Deadly Visit. I guess I could potentially cut Deadly Visit for a second Righteous Blow. And then our removal is Price of Fame plus Spinal Centipede, which doesn't feel like an amazing black splash. Especially with no black sources. And what's the mana base? Mana base is going to be 3 swamps. And then out of 17 leaves us 14, so 7 and 7. And we want white early, right? Kinda. Want white very early. We want red and white. It's probably still slightly tilted in white's favor here. So that's 17, right? 7, 14, 17. Alright. I have 40 cards here. Cut black and add direct currents. So the problem is we're losing our strongest removal pieces to cut black and decent creatures. So if I did do that, we should look at what the deck looks like. If you guys don't enjoy drafting or sealed, I'm sorry. I will probably be spending all of my time for that today on drafted and sealed. I mean, the creatures we can give back for this, we can take a second Righteous Blow, an Inspiring Unicorn, and then 2 direct currents is what we give up for that. I want to try this. So, all right, let's just throw this in. Like, again, there's no stats associated with this. There's no win-loss records that matter. This is experimenting with Guilds of Ravnica. Let's see what a tricolor splash feels like with limited ability to sort that out. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it, chat. We're gonna call this Frig's PC as our first deck. All right, 17 lands. What's the payout structure? 2,000 gem buy-in is quite a lot. All right, let's see how we go. See how we do. I want to play with the new cards.